and welcome to Talking Schmidt. I'm your host, Eric Schmidt.
Hello, I'm Greg Burmeister.
And Happy New Year to everyone. It's the year 2025.
Yeah.
2025, I think.
Yeah, I
think
that's the correct pronunciation.
Yeah, pretty exciting. We're coming to you live. We're not in Times Square. They wouldn't let us do our usual Times Square episode. I know fans have really enjoyed those episodes we've done from Times Square in the past. We used to do it, if you're unfamiliar, we used to do live from Times Square episodes for the new year. But we sent them a request to do it again. I think it's called like the Times Square New Year's Association, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
And they emailed us back and they were like, we didn't allow you to do it in the past. They were
apparently they were not happy that we had ever done it.
I thought we had permission to do it, and so we would go and set up.
Yeah, now that I think about it, we did just kind of go and do it without.
Well, yeah, right. I'm sorry. Like I thought you were the one that was going to email them, and I guess you thought I was the one emailing them. And so anyway, we never had permission to do it in the years we've done it. So
whoops.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, when they did get back to us this time, and they were like, "We don't know who you are." And we're angry that you've done it in the past. So anyway, so we're coming to you live from a later day in January. It's already 2025, so happy belated New Year. What'd you do for Christmas, Greg? Did you have a nice holiday?
Yeah, it was all right. I went to Minneapolis, spent a few days there.
Cool.
Didn't do a whole lot.
Watch some TV.
Watched a lot of movies.
Really expensive trip to watch some TV at mom and dad's.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's cool though. What'd you watch?
Yeah. I watched all the classic Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Die Hard,
That's a good one.
The Home Alones 1 and 2.
Now you and I agree that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, right?
Yes.
There's some folks who don't think so.
Really?
Yeah. It's
it takes place on Christmas Eve.
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's Christmas songs in the movie.
Yeah.
They wish each other a Merry Christmas often. There's many mentions of Christmas within the movie. So yeah, I firmly believe that it is. If you don't, you can email us and let us know that you did.
Unless you're one of those high school kids, leave us alone.
No, you guys can keep emailing. It's fine. It's a lot of pranks they're trying to pull. They often send that image that's like the guy sitting on the bed and he's just got a real big penis. Have you seen this?
Yes.
Yeah, that image. Like people trick you into looking at it.
Yeah.
So that's what we get a lot of from those kids. But I'm pretty good at spotting when that's going to be a thing. So if you think you can outsmart me, you can try. But anyway, yeah. So I went to the United Kingdom. Have you heard of that place?
I've heard of it. I've never been, but it looked very nice.
It's a little confusing. I don't know, like what United Kingdom, does that mean Britain? I went to two different places. So I went to, I think the United Kingdom, it means Britain or England. Or no, Britain. Okay, Great Britain.
So many
means,
words for one place.
Yeah, right, dude. Like you guys need to pick what's going on here. I don't understand. But yeah, so like so I went to London, which is in England, England, and that's
is that within the kingdom?
I think so. Yeah, it's in the United Kingdom. So I went there. I went to London and it was great. Really fun city. It's kind of like New York in that there's like just a lot. There's a lot of restaurants, lots of bars, lots of culture, lots of museums, lots of things to do. It's a big city.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though. First thing I noticed, because I rode. I'm not a billionaire like some of you people.
Some of these. Yeah.
But so I rode what they call the Tube. That's their subway system.
The Tube, like number 2.
No, Tube.
Oh, Tube.
It's called the Tube, the Underground.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I rode that thing. It's like their subway, I guess. And first thing I noticed, a lot less like dangerous seeming people, like a lot less like crazies. I don't know if you're supposed to say
don't
crazy.
have to look over your shoulder quite as much.
Yeah, I don't know if you're supposed to say crazy anymore. But anyway, a lot like they seem to have like a social safety net. That takes care of like people with mental illness a little better than we do.
Yeah.
And I mean that like as a country, not just London versus New York. I think like it felt a lot safer. Also, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you keep up with history or the news, but they don't have They don't have as many guns there. Even the cops don't even have guns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently,
Just like tasers or something?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't test. I didn't like walk up to one and try and start
poking them.
I didn't try to start a fight with any of the cops. But yeah, they don't have guns. And I looked it up. I guess what happened is like the public and the cops agreed at some point. Like, you know what? We'd all feel a lot safer if you guys also didn't have guns. So no guns for them either. And so yeah, you just kind of feel general. You can feel it. There's a general. It just feels more safe there. Less like something terrible is about to happen. You know, like we have in the United States, especially the last 8 to 10 years, just like what crazy thing is about to happen.
For real.
Know? So that was nice. But one thing that we do better in America, I think. Now, obviously, we have a ton of poison in our foods that they don't really have there. They're kind of strict about what you can put in foods there, but they. So like our cuisine, I think, is better, and the fact that we have like so many different.
Yeah, especially in New York specifically.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, New York definitely better food scene than London's. Yeah. But also, I just think America's proximity to Mexico gives us a lot of pretty good food. But yeah, you just have like so much more to choose from here, I think.
Definitely.
Also, like, what the fuck? Have you seen this? I don't know if you've seen this, but they have like beans for breakfast.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, British breakfast means there's like some beans.
They just really like to get all their fiber intake first thing in the morning.
I think what it has to do with, I think like in World War II, they were a lot closer to Germany, so it was they had to do like war rationing, so they were having a lot tougher time, and so I think the beans entered the breakfast realm at that point as a way to like get some, get a little more nutrients for breakfast, because like bacon maybe wasn't as readily available.
True.
But man, it's not the war anymore, guys. You don't have to eat like this, and also they have bacon too now.
We're like 75 years past that.
Yeah, and all they did was add bacon back, so like you could get rid of the beans now. You have bacon
you don't need to stick with the beans here.
And it's not. And I tried it. Like I tried to give it a chance. I didn't want to be like an asshole about it. I didn't want to be like closed-minded.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'll try a full British breakfast, and I'm like, what do we do with these beans?
Come on,
this makes no sense. We don't need this. No. So that'd be my advice to the fine. And again, very friendly people over there.
Yeah.
I found them to be very friendly. It was a wonderful time.
Just eat too many beans.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the beans, guys. It's especially at breakfast time. Also, like the American South does that style bean way better. So USA. And then what else? Okay. So I went to Scotland as well, which that place also really cool. Edinburgh, by the way.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah, so it's very. I didn't look anything up. I'm kind of an idiot, and so in my mind I'm picturing kind of like the country. I'm picturing like smaller buildings, countryside.
Yeah.
Maybe spaced out a little bit. And it's a big city. It's a city. Cool goth buildings. It's very gothic there.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause it's all like medieval shit. They got like castles and old churches and.
That's rock and roll,
dude. It was rock and roll as hell. I wasn't expecting it. And speaking of rock and roll, so we went to breakfast one day
for your daily bean.
Sure.
Ration.
Yeah, it's for the beans. And so at that one, I did try the other stuff that they have in Scotland that's not like an English thing. They have haggis, which is like ground up like parts, like organ meat mixed with like some other things to like make it. It's kind of the shape of a sausage when you get it, and that was also bad. I mean, like I can eat it. Like I can eat the beans too. It's not. I wasn't like repulsed, but I'm like, all right, I don't need to. I know this.
Organs are very healthy, but maybe not the most tasty.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need to eat this ever again. And then I forget what it's called, and if our Scottish listeners will be mad at this or whatever, but like. I had like blood pudding, or maybe it's called black pudding. I don't know, but it's bad too. It's like a meat thing. It's made out of blood. And it's not good.
How many people named Scott did you meet?
I didn't meet a single Scott first name.
Interesting.
And as far as I know, I didn't meet one with a second name, but or a middle name.
No Scots in Scotland.
Scots. No. But while I was there, I pulled up my ancestry because I did that a while back. You spit in the tube, you send it off, they tell you what's going on. I was like, let me check, because I would, throughout the years since I've done that, I would get these emails that's like, update, we were able to figure out more detail about your ancestry from the DNA, and I looked up the update. I'm 24% Scottish. I found that out while I was in Scotland, which is kind of a fun and interesting thing.
I thought you were going to say, I'm 24 years old.
Greg, would you believe it? I found out I'm 24. I don't know how that works, but
that's what they told me.
According to the people at Anti, I don't think their tests work. Update, you're 24 years old. So
that's fun.
Yeah, sure. So anyway, so I was excited about that, and then my mom pulled up hers. I got her a 23andMe. That's a different company, neither one of which Greg and I endorsed, by the way.
No.
But so I got my mom that, and she found out. She pulled hers up while we were there. She's 2% Italian, which is exciting.
Really?
Yeah, which means I'm probably 1% Italian.
Yeah, you got a little bit of Italian. That's
exciting.
That's cool.
And it's on my mom's side, so it does make me Italian. I think that's how that works.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah. So
I'm from what I've read, that's
I'm Italian now.
Yeah.
So welcome to the Italian podcast.
You start introducing yourself as Italian.
Yeah, hi, I'm Eric.
I'm Eric,
Italian.
Italian.
So we're at breakfast, by the way, and I'm trying all the things, and I'm like, this is not that good. And this very hungover server comes up, and he looks like a rocker dude, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of those guys. He's clearly out rocking.
I like his style.
Yeah, dude, I dug his style too. But he's visibly hungover, and he comes over and he's dropping off the food, and he like looks at me and like he lights up, and he's like, oh man, he was like, you look like the bassist from, and I like stopped him, and I was like, from Mastodon.
Yeah.
And then his face lit up even more
because he thought you actually.
Well, because he heard that I am American, which like he didn't know coming in. Like I hadn't said anything to him.
Yeah,
yet, you know. And he was like, oh my god, it is him, you know. And then and I was like, yeah, I get that a lot. And he's like, because you are him? And I'm like, no, I'm not him. And he was like, oh man, he was like, dude, you look exactly like him. I was like, I know, I get it all the time. Like,
he should have just rolled with it.
I know, I'm gonna start doing that, I think.
Yeah,
but
just
anyway,
sign some autographs.
Yeah, I was like, you know, it's not me. And then like we got up to leave, and when I stood up, I'm very tall, like that guy is too.
Yeah,
like, I do look exactly like this guy.
Yeah, it's very uncanny.
His name is Troy Sanders, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know his actual name.
Yeah, I found, you know, this happened so often I had to figure out his name.
True.
So anyway, and they're a great band if you're into like sludge metal, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's in a few other bands. He's a very talented bassist. But anyway, so when we're getting up to leave, when I stand up, he realizes I'm very tall like he is, and he's like, man, that is that fucking guy, and he's lying to me. And he walks over to me.
He didn't even believe you.
He walked over to me and goes, if you're him, and I was like, dude, I'm not him.
Like, how else can you prove?
I should have taken out my ID, I guess. I'm like,
show him your social media. Like, see, there are 0 pictures of me.
And then I said to him, I was like, if I was him, I would tell you, which like, that's not really a thing I can promise to someone, you know, because like I'm not him. So like, but I had said that as like reassuring to him. And he was like, all right. And then I left, and I was like, and then I thought maybe I should go back and get a picture with him, and then he can just lie to his friends at least, or
hey, there you go,
or maybe unknowingly lie to his friends. So anyway, yeah. So I got mistaken for a celebrity while we were there. We went to. Have you ever heard of St. Andrews?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, so you're not a golf guy, right?
No,
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I really dislike golf. Actually,
never struck me as a golfer. Yeah,
it's very boring.
It's very boring, and I'm not a big golf guy either. But but that's where they play the British Open, and it's also where they invented golf.
Oh,
so we went and we got like a tour up there, and we stopped at the little fishing villages on the way up there, and man, beautiful area, St. Andrews. It's not just a golf course, obviously. There's other shit there. They have these ancient like ruins of this like church that got destroyed by the Protestants back in the day, which you can look up all this history on your own time, folks. But yeah, there was some violence in that region of the world back in the day. Lots of kings and queens trying to outdo each other, you know, whatnot. But and like I never read about any of that history because it just seems too daunting. You know, it seems like there's too much of it. So it's like, where do you even start?
True.
Like American history is easy. It's only like 300 years. It's like, you know, you got like slave times, and that's bad. And then you got like, you know,
the
industrial
World Wars.
And then like present time, which is bad. It's just bad. It's all bad. Yeah. We had a bad start. We started with the genocide and then slavery. Set us off on a bad little go of things. But anyway, yeah, their history just always felt so daunting to me. I was like, I don't know where to start, but like now I'm really into it. I'm really interested.
Nice.
Because I like history. But like it's because like the you see it in person and you're like, oh man, these castles and all this shit.
Yeah,
this is kind of cool shit.
Yeah,
because they have like these tombs and everything. And I read that they found they were like building a pub or something, and they were building like the parking lot for the pub, and then they found some skeletal remains, and they were like, all right, hold on, we gotta let the people come in and figure out what the hell this is. And they figured out it was a king's. They accidentally like found some king from history's bones in Scotland. Yeah. So anyway, interesting and fascinating and beautiful part of the world if you ever get a chance to go. I really want to go to Ireland now too. Our friend Chris Downey, who's a friend of the pod, he when I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm going to the United Kingdom, and he was like, oh, Ireland. I'm like, no, we're just we're doing the other two. And he was like, fuck you.
Yeah, I want to go to Ireland too. My company has an office in Dublin.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
we should go sometime.
We should.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, it's settled then.
All right, we're going.
One thing I forgot to say, when we were in London, we went to this, like, it's kind of like their Macy's, I guess. It's called Harrods, which like anyone from London is probably like, what the fuck is this idiot talking about? So we went there, and they have like a liquor store. They have a cigar store as well, and like within this like department store. And so I got a bottle of bourbon to keep on the trip with me, and then I went down to the cigar. I was interested in getting a Cuban cigar because they sell Cuban cigars there.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's legal. They don't have an embargo with them, so it's legal to have there. So I went in, and I was like, I'd like to buy a Cuban cigar. And the guy was like, that's all we sell. And I'm like, all right. Well,
perfect.
That's very good. I can't miss that.
Yeah.
So he's like, do you want like what kind of situation do you want here? And I was like a cheaper one,
Yeah.
He's like, do you want it like also to be not very like intense? And I'm like, yeah, like medium intense, I guess.
Regular.
Yeah, regular Cuban cigar.
Whatever.
So he takes me over and he's like, this one's 60. And I'm like, 60 pounds? Fuck. You got anything cheaper than that? He's like, that's the cheapest one we got. And then I realized he's saying 16, which is still not that cheap. And I'm like, all right, I'll have one then, And I haven't ever smoked cigar really before. I've taken like a puff probably and been like, ugh, that's no good. So I get the cigar and I smoke it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. This is not good. I smoked like half. Yeah, I smoked like half of it and was like, all right, I'm good. But then then we got back to the hotel, and there was like a little smoking section outside of the hotel. And I was like, all right, I'll have a drink and try to smoke more of this 16-pound cigar that I
choke down as much as.
Well, you don't really choke it down because you're not inhaling. So, but essentially, yes. Sorry. So I was doing that, and this guy was like, he's like, hey, you want? I have some Cubans myself. Do you want one to have on New Year's? He was like, I got some really nice ones. And I was like, thank you so much. His name was Rupert, by the way. Nice man.
Rupert.
Yeah, very British. Rupert. He was like, you want a Cuban? And I'm like, no. I was like, I don't think I like them. And thank you.
This is not for me.
Yeah, I was like, thank you very much. And then he insisted. He was like, no, you got to have one of these.
You are taking this.
Yeah. And he
forced it upon you.
Yeah, and he was very. He shouldn't have been smoking. He had like Parkinson's or something, I think.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he was like, you got to open this and get your cigar out. It was like a pack.
Time
I know. Maybe time to quit, Rupert.
Yeah.
But he insisted that I take it, and but I'm grateful. I have it, and I don't know if it's legal that I brought it to America.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm not sure how that works.
My plan was to smoke it at some point while we were still over there. But again, I don't have a taste for cigars, so I'm like, but I should. He was like, this is the best. It's called a Monte Cristo. I looked it up. They're supposed to be very good. Yeah, so I have one of those.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I'll give a review after I smoke it, I guess. But anyway, so that's what that was. In a nutshell, what we got going on over there. I went with my mom, my wife, and my sister. So we had a very nice time. Greg, what are you looking forward to in 2025?
Ooh, I am going to see the Grateful Dead at the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Very good.
Very excited about that. Looking to, assuming I can get my passport, which I have a appointment for on January 21st.
Okay.
Going to Bermuda.
Oh, okay. That's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait. That's for my birthday, by the way. Unless you're going another time without me. But yes, that's going to be fun.
I'm leaving the day you get there.
Well, that'll be fun, man. I can't wait for that. Hey, speaking of Las Vegas, did you see that guy blew himself up out there? What the hell was that?
Was that the Cybertruck?
Yeah, the Cybertruck
right outside
guy.
the Trump Hotel.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We're finding out more and more information about that fella. It turned out like his wife left him, I guess, and this was, he killed himself, but he was also like a military guy who served apparently like at the same, or like was stationed at the same place that other guy that did the terrorist attack in New Orleans was stationed in.
Oh, Mandalay
So it's like,
Bay?
do they know each other? It's like real weird. We're finding, but like, what I'm thinking is maybe it's dangerous to train these guys to be like lethal. Yeah. And then just like letting them back into society without really like keeping tabs on anybody, like it just seems, we got to have a better system in place, I think.
I stayed at Mandalay Bay last time I was out there, and they have like that whole part of the hotel blocked off where the other guy did the shooting. In Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, in Las Vegas, the guy that did the big shooting there. Yeah. Anyway, it's just troubling times, folks. So hopefully the rest of the year, hopefully things get better. That guy, remember that guy who ran for president, and you worked on his TV show for a while, Donald Trump.
The guy from Home Alone 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's becoming president again, and which is kind of a bummer because I never really liked that guy. But maybe there's a lot of things that both sides want, right? Both sides of the political spectrum want to happen. Maybe he'll just do those things.
That'd be good.
Yeah, and people will be like, all right, well, he did common sense gun control. He did some infrastructure stuff. He did some good things that like most Americans want to have happen. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how realistic it is to be hopeful about it, but maybe he'll die.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, he's getting old.
He's real old.
Yeah,
maybe he'll just die. So, there's some good things might happen. I'm hoping to get through this year and never find out who the Rizzler is. Do you know who that is?
Can't say I'm familiar.
You're doing good too. See, nice. I keep seeing these things online about this Rizzler. I think he's a kid, like a.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what that is.
He's some kid from like New York, I think. That's all. It's about all I know.
But I don't like his name.
Yeah, I don't like this. Feels. I don't know. I don't know about this Rizzler unless he's good. In which case, someone should tell me that like, no, Rizzler good. Have him on your podcast.
Rizzler good. Everyone else bad.
Rizzler good. Trump bad. Rizzler for president.
Sold.
Well, okay, all right, I can get down on this. And Greg, I'm excited about your popcorn this year. We talked about it a few episodes ago. You've got the Greg Burmeister popcorn diet.
Yep, I'm releasing my own branded popcorn.
Yeah, and we'll hopefully have some next episode. Mm-hmm. I realize I made it. I don't know if listeners have been able to hear this, but I'm going to let everyone in on something before we shut down this episode and go home, go our separate ways. I went to the bathroom before I peed.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I just didn't want people to think I'm shitting at your apartment. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but like I peed, because I had to go to the bathroom, and so I went and I flushed the toilet, and it's just kind of been running.
It's still running. It does that once in a while. I'd say like 1 out of every 15 to 20 flushes. It'll do that. It's a little annoying, but it's.
I'm not sure if listeners can hear it.
I doubt.
Okay, so then I just told everyone.
And the only way to fix it is just flush it again.
Sure.
It resolves itself.
I figured. Yeah. So I wasn't sure if listeners. Well, if they can't hear it, then I'm just telling my my bathroom business for no reason. Anyway, well, that's a pretty good way to send 2004 away and look forward to 2004. What year is it, Greg?
It's 2005, as of a couple days ago.
Hell yeah, man!
And you're 24 years old.
No, I wasn't then. I was 20. I was 19 in 2004.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I was 20.
Hell yeah. All right, well, that's good enough for us. Have a good night and good day and happy 2025.
2005.
Talking Schmidt is recorded at Burmeister Studios in
Astoria, Queens.
Opening music is by Greg Burmeister. Closing music is by
Greg Burmeister.
Our intern is Jason Travis. If you like what you've heard, Please like, follow, and write a review for us wherever you listen to podcasts. If you didn't like it, please keep listening to it, but keep your opinions to yourself. If you really liked it, you can find bonus episodes over on our Talking Schmidt Patreon page. Membership is just $5 per month, and it goes a long way to buy us the equipment and bourbon we need. Thanks in advance, and hope you're doing great.